This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now it's 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
This is it. It's the real deal. It's the real slide cards, the real chips, everything.
The Hoosier State is going all in. We're looking at the changes the new year brings to 2 central Indiana casinos.
A West Side man trying to reopen a local business is now having to spend more thanks to thieves. Why the man says the project is much more than a laundromat.
Retirement is something we all work toward. New this morning, we're looking at why so many people are unretiring.
The Marshmallow Monkey, south of the city, is known for its unique style. Only on R2B6, the message the couple behind the business wants you to hear as you start the new year.
And do you wear a diamond? Why young couples are going for a different sort of bling. The options they're choosing so you don't waste your money.
All right, it is January the 2nd, Thursday. Feels kind of like a Monday after the holiday,
It does.
Right? And we want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana.
And we have some good weather here to kick off our new year. Thankfully, things are a little warmer than they typically are this time of year. And our Alyssa Donovan is letting us know just how warm they're going to get.
Yes, we're kind of lucky today. Those temperatures are climbing quickly throughout our day. We're going to be close to about 20 degrees above average. Right now, this morning, we are starting with those temperatures very warm. Over the next couple hours, we'll be in the low 40s, hitting into the upper 40s by the noon hour. And then we are going to see close to 50 degrees for our daytime highs today. What's going to happen throughout the day as well is we're going to see this system to the south of us start to track into Indiana. What that's going to do is bring us some cloud coverage to start. So we are going to see cloudy skies by this afternoon, and then we are going to see the potential of some rain showers this evening and overnight. The best chance of us seeing those showers starting is closer to about 9 p.m., 10 p.m. this evening, with the heavier rainfall happening overnight and into our Friday morning. So most of the day, we are going to see some dry conditions, with southeast counties starting to see the potential of some showers by the evening hours. The rest of us likely will see those rain showers overnight tonight. Today's high right around 50 degrees.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Here is a live look right now at I-70 and Harding Street. This is 2 hour west. You can see everything here is traveling smoothly. Traffic is picking up this morning as folks are heading maybe back to work after the holiday. We'll continue to keep you updated on any crashes that might slow you down. But for now, let's plan out your drive heading southbound on I-69 through Hamilton County. It's only a 5-minute drive, starting you off here at State Road 37, heading down to I-465.
Investigators say 4 people from Indiana are recovering from this boat crash in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They're identified as Daniel Tauris of Zionsville, Cassidy Rudman of Indianapolis, and Lauren and Jaron Salegi of McCordsville. Investigators say the boat hit a jetty just after midnight on Wednesday. A witness says he's surprised no one was killed.
That's luck. That's pure luck. I mean, the impact on that boat had to be incredible. You know, it's just, you got to pay attention out there. It's no joke.
Conservation officers say 3 of the passengers were taken to the hospital, 1 with a serious bodily injury.
The new year brings big changes for 2 casinos right here in the Hoosier State. The Indiana State House passing a law just this past year that now allows live table games at casinos in Anderson and Shelbyville. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with all the details. And Kelsey, what does this mean for Indiana and also those casinos?
Yeah, Lauren, so both casino officials and people who are going to the casinos to play the different games, they say this is big for Indiana, but it's also big for the 2 casinos in Shelbyville and Anderson. So in place of electronic tables, you can now play games like blackjack, craps, and roulette with live dealers. Now, because of this change, Hoosier Park and Indiana Grand casinos are now on a level playing field with the other state-regulated casinos where live dealers were already legal. We spoke to one Hoosier who was driving out of state to play live table games, and now he's glad he doesn't have to go so far.
I just don't like to play against a computer. I'd rather play against a human. You know, and there's a lot of people like that. That's why they won't play against a computer. They don't want to. A computer is a computer. You know what I'm saying? And a live person is a lot different.
Now, the change to live dealers is also helping put Hoosiers to work. Just the addition of table games alone has created 220 new jobs with the potential to expand and add more tables at both locations in the future. Now, both Indiana Grand and Hoosier Park are hiring for dealers, waitresses, all kinds of jobs. We've got that linked for you over on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Less Hoosier students are walking across the stage with their high school diploma. New numbers from the State Department of Education shows Indiana's graduation rate was down in 2019. The 87.29% of high school seniors that graduated last year was down from 88.1% in 2018. The highest state graduation rate in recent history was back in 2014 at 90%.
Residents in South Bend have a new mayor this morning. Democrat James Mueller took the oath of office on Wednesday in a small ceremony. Other elected officials were also sworn in, including several city council members. Former mayor and current Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg took a break from the campaign trail to attend the ceremonies. Mueller says that he was looking forward to building on the work done in the previous administration.
My brand is just let's get things done. So I hope that this year we'll see a lot of results on a number of different things, from making progress on our neighborhoods to public safety reform to strengthening our education system, and make sure that we continue this positive trajectory that's begun over the last 8 years.
Mueller is the 33rd person to serve as mayor of South Bend. Now, on the Democracy 2020 front, Democratic candidate for president Pete Buttigieg says he's raised more than $24.7 million just in the last 3 months. The former mayor of South Bend says he has nearly 500 people working on his staff across the country. Buttigieg's campaign says he's raised more than $76 million since he launched his bid for president. The campaign is gearing up for the Iowa caucuses, which happen 1 month from tomorrow. Time now is 6:06, and a man who grew up on Indy's west side knows how desperately they need businesses there.
That's why he decided to reopen a laundromat that had been closed for nearly a year, but this morning he's ran into a roadblock. Over the weekend, 2 people came into Hoosier Family Laundry, but they weren't there to wash clothes. In this video, you can see the man kicks in the office door to steal some power tools. Daniel Albrand tells RTV6 he's not naive, so when he decided to be open 24/7 to accommodate people in the area, he knew something like this could happen. But he says he's not throwing in the towel on this new venture.
At the end of the day, we're here to serve customers. Unfortunately, that guy wasn't one of our customers, and I'm not going to let him ruin that for the people that we're here for.
Daniel says they actually opened early because people saw the lights were on when they were remodeling and came in asking to use the washers and dryers. He has filed a police report and is sharing the story to hopefully prevent anything else like this from happening.
Well, after an incident where a man was killed during a police chase, Call 6 Investigates is holding IMPD accountable for its policy when it comes to pursuing suspects. That Monday chase on the northeast side killed 64-year-old Indianapolis man Charles Alexander. He was in a vehicle that was hit by a suspect's car that crashed at the end of a chase with IMPD. Police believe that the man they were chasing was wanted on a federal firearms charge. Police pursuit policies are meant to minimize the amount of risk in cases like this. Newly appointed Assistant Police Chief Chris Bailey calls the department's current policy, quote, liberal.
During yesterday's police pursuit, an innocent bystander was killed. Do we know if there's any way to prevent that, and if the police pursuit policy was followed?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't taken a look at all those facts right now. Based on what I know, the officers would have been within the policy that we currently have.
Well, back in November, that policy is updated to make it more restrictive on when officers can chase suspects. IMPD says that they are now in the process of training officers on that new policy. The department is still investigating both the chase and crash.
A sad reminder about the potential dangers of space heaters. Firefighters say clutter near a space heater caught fire Wednesday afternoon at a home on Napoleon Street near Shelby and Raymond. A neighbor suffered slight smoke inhalation after he ran into the burning home to save several cats. The homeowner cannot stay in the home because of that damage. Using space heaters safely can help prevent fires. Tips include keeping them at least 3 feet away from anything that can catch fire, plugging space heaters into the wall outlet instead of power strips that can get overloaded, and never sleep with a space heater on.
At 6:09, 2 more baby boxes like the one you see right here are now available to use right here in the Hoosier state. Those boxes in New Haven and Columbia City bring the total number of boxes across the state to 20. The boxes are containers with a door to the outside of a fire station building. When they're opened, an alarm sounds on the inside to alert the on-duty staff.
We all look forward to the day we can clock out for the final time and retire. New this morning why a large number of retirees are now going back to work.
And studies focused on the impacts of playing football are often centered around concussions. But new at 6:20, how playing football could impact your child's weight and blood pressure. Alyssa.
And we have a warm, mild day on the way for your Thursday. As we head into the evening, though, that's when we have the potential of rain coming our way. We do have that for quite some time coming up. I'll have the details on how long that rain is going to last.
And at JanuaryIndyBoatShow.com.
Welcome back. It is 6:12. We are keeping a close eye on your commute this morning as you're heading out there. Maybe you're heading back to work. Here is a look right now at I-465 heading southbound on the east side, traveling near I-70. You can see traffic here is pretty quiet still this morning. We'll let you know if there are any crashes that might slow down your commute to work.
Retirement is a milestone that people spend their whole lives preparing for.
And this morning, Alicia Neves is finding out why so many people across the country are unretiring.
That's the bell. Here we go.
At Seminole High School in Florida, in between classes, you'll find Interim Assistant Principal Kenneth Lewis.
You're walking like you're on time.
Monitoring the halls, making sure students are getting to where they need to go.
Let's go.
But just a few weeks ago, things were a lot different for Mr. Lewis. He was retired.
I'm still healthy. I can still do some things, and I can still contribute.
A growing number of people right now, nearly 40% of those who retire are unretiring and going back to work. For Lewis?
Well, the wife and I have planned to do some traveling and do some things like that and, do some stuff around the house. But boy, did it get old fast.
He came out of retirement because he wanted to.
We're good.
But unfortunately, 60% of those who are unretiring are doing so because they need to.
I retired in June of 2018. I was a teacher for 21 years, and I worked for the Department of Correction for 11 years.
How different is the vision that you had for retirement versus what it actually ended up being?
My vision was to be traveling around the world, maybe somewhere in Hawaii, enjoying myself, not worrying about medical insurance.
But instead, Carol Sutton is back teaching just a year after retiring.
Go to page 6.
And that's largely because in retirement, she was getting $2,100 a month. More than a quarter of that, $600, was going towards health care.
I couldn't even imagine that I would be paying this much in insurance, health insurance. And this doesn't count the prescriptions, the doctor's appointment, the hospitalization, lab work.
Do you think you'll ever be able to actually fully retire?
I hope by the time at least I'm 65 when I'm able to get Medicare.
The silver lining for those unretiring, whether it's because they need to or they want to, it's that in either case, they are able to.
I'm in a position where I hire from both generations, and I see the benefits of both generations, the benefits of hiring the retirees. I know their work ethic. They come from a time when you committed to something, you see it through.
Many employers, from Lewis's high school to Mrs. Sutton's Christian Teaching Academy, are embracing retirees back into the workforce.
There we go. Go get them, dude.
I'm Alicia Nieves.
A new study finds automotive plant closures may be linked to a rise in opioid overdose deaths. Researchers say the opioid overdose death rate in a county was 85% higher 5 years after a closure than in counties without closures. It found only an association between plant closures and opioid overdose death rates, not a causal relationship. Researchers say the economy and other social factors could also be playing a role in those deaths. Here at 6:16, we need to take a look at our weather. We are officially into 2020, and we've got some good temps ahead of us.
Yeah, pretty warm, Melissa.
Yeah, warm start to our year for sure. Those temperatures starting in the 40s this morning will climb into the low 50s this afternoon. So we are well above average for this time of year. It does not feel like January as you step outside at all. Right now, 43 degrees in Indianapolis. It's 41 in Kokomo, already 46 down in Bloomington. Some of those southern counties, you are going to start pretty warm this morning and warm up quite a bit throughout the afternoon. We have cloudy skies right now, and we'll see cloudy skies throughout the day, but I want you to notice that we do have that breeze out of the south, about 15 miles per hour. We're also going to see some gusty winds, those wind gusts peaking close to 30 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. All of that wind is coming from a low pressure system that's just to the south of Indiana right now, but what it's doing is pulling up that moisture from the Gulf, and then that's also helping usher in that warmer air as we see those winds out of the south. That's why we are seeing those warmer temperatures throughout the day today. As we head into the afternoon, we'll build in a little bit more cloud coverage, so we'll see some peaks of sunshine this morning, but by the noon hour, we are going to see mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures close to 50 degrees by that time already, so it is going to be a warm day. By the afternoon, more cloud coverage, and then the evening is when we really start to see that system move into southeast counties. You're going to start by seeing those showers this evening. The rest of us will see those showers as we head overnight, with the heaviest showers close to the morning hours on your Friday morning. We'll continue to see the potential of rain showers for most of the day on Friday. We could see a little bit of a break midday, but as that system moves across the area, we're looking at about a half an inch of rainfall total in Indianapolis, and then higher totals closer to an inch for those southeast counties. That's just because you're going to see that rainfall for a bit longer. Next, we see another wave from that same system come through. That's going to happen Friday night and into Saturday morning, and you'll notice that we do have the potential of some snow mixed in there as well as that system moves across the area. Rain snow mix likely overnight Friday and into your Saturday morning. By Saturday morning, we could see the potential of some accumulating snow. Really depends on if we do see those temperatures drop off enough. Friday night looks like they're going to be right close to freezing, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Saturday afternoon, temperatures a little bit cooler than average into the 30s, and then we are going to see things calm down Sunday. Mostly sunny skies. That's going to start our brief dry out. That's going to stick with us Sunday and into Monday, most of Tuesday, before we see another chance of showers in the forecast late Tuesday afternoon.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look where traffic is picking up. That's to the northwest here near Whitestown, I-65 and State Road 334. Lots of headlights moving both northbound and southbound. The good news, no crashes or delays in this area to slow down your commute. Let's take a look right now from our live drive vehicle on westbound I-465 approaching Emerson Avenue there in the Beech Grove area. You can see traffic is traveling smoothly there for your commute. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any delays, and of course, we'll keep you updated. Well, working for you this morning with an alert before you head to the pharmacy. You may have to pay more for your prescriptions. Several drug companies are raising the prices of more than 200 drugs, including some common cancer and arthritis treatments. The drug makers include Pfizer, GlaxoSmithKline, and Sanofi. Most of the prices and the price increases are between 4 to 6%. Some are going up as much as 10%. Affordable drug prices are expected to be a top 2020 campaign issue.
It is a busy time for travel, and researchers are revealing what the dirtiest thing at the airport is. A study from the Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare says it isn't the bathrooms. It's unavoidable plastic trays you have to put your things on when you go through security. Researchers say because so many people touch them, they collect the most germs. Respiratory viruses are the most likely sickness to be picked up from those trays. So, Lauren, pack your hand sanitizer, too.
Oh, yeah, that is good advice there. Well, hey, college football, we know it can be hard on the body. Typically, research focuses on the impacts of concussions on football, but a new study is looking at how players' weight and blood pressure can change over time. Researchers looked at more than 100 players over a 3-year period. Researchers found when the players gained weight and had an increase in blood pressure, there were some physical changes to their hearts. Doctors say these changes are associated with an increased risk for heart attack, heart disease, and stroke.
as trainers, as providers, we need to be cognizant of the quality of food that they're putting in their body, monitoring their weight gain, knowing that weight gain is associated negatively with cardiovascular risk, and staying on top of that. Because having high blood pressure at such a young age means that high blood pressure will carry through beyond competitive sport participation.
Well, doctors say because this study only looks at football players, it's difficult to know if athletes' weight gain was a result of their sport or lifestyle habits as a college student.
Here's a roadblock you don't see every day. New at 624, where officials had to spend hours removing hundreds of these things. We'll be right back.
At Ashley Home Store, this is home.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time right now is 6:24, and we have our live drive vehicle out monitoring your commute. Our photographer, Shay Goodpaster's in the driver's seat. This is a dash cam view. He's been traveling around the 465 loop. Right now, he's on westbound lanes approaching East Street, US 31 there on the south side, and traffic looks to be traveling up to speed.
All right, Lauren, as our resident traffic gal, you often see some bizarre things that cause roadblocks out on the interstates and on the state roads and things like that. But here's something you generally don't see, especially here in central Indiana, causing traffic problems. Tumbleweeds clogging up a Washington state highway. As you can see, it wasn't just one or two of them. It was hundreds reported to state police along State Route 240. According to the Department of Transportation, the road was closed for 10 hours because of the drifting debris.
Oh, that poor car. Look at that.
Wow, that is insane.
Wow. Okay. Well, a Pennsylvania business is taking a unique twist on a German tradition. Urban Churn is rolling out a sauerkraut flavored ice cream. Yeah. The shop's owners say it's a tradition in Germany to eat sauerkraut to bring luck for the new year. Well, the folks at Urban Churn in Harrisburg say the flavor is usually well received.
Yeah, that's going to be a no from me.
I don't know about that. I like sauerkraut, but I don't know about ice cream.
Lake Superior State University asked the public to submit words or phrases they're tired of hearing. Quid pro quo was at the top of the list after President Trump's recent impeachment. The list also included artisanal, influencer, living my best life, and totes, short for totally. Several baby boomers said the term okay boomer should also be scratched from our vocabulary.
I think you can get behind a lot of those.
Yeah, and I have a late submission. Snow. Can we erase that from our vocabulary?
No.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Looks like I need that.
All right. I don't know. This weather, we've just really lucked out so far this winter weather-wise.
It almost feels like you could erase that today, but we do have the potential of some snow in the 7-day forecast. We don't have it today, and we don't have it tomorrow, but by Saturday, we could see some rain and snow mixed together in our forecast. Today, though, partly sunny skies. We're starting with some sunshine this morning, and then we'll see more cloud coverage build in throughout the day. Gusty winds out of the southwest. Those are helping usher in some warmer air, which is why our temperatures will climb well above average, right around 50 degrees for our high. We do have that rain that will move in late tonight. That's going to stick with us as we head into tomorrow and the weekend. That chance of a rain-snow mix comes in late Friday into Saturday morning.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Well, a diamond engagement ring can easily cost $10,000 or more, putting a lot of newlywed couples deep into debt.
Working for you, John Mattery shows us the cheaper options younger couples are turning to so you don't waste your money.
Today's younger couples are rebelling against many long-time wedding traditions. Example, the groom not being allowed to see his bride on the morning of the wedding. Another, buying the largest diamond you can afford.
We realized that we were going into the marriage with student loan debt and medical debt, and the typical 3-month salary wasn't going to work for us to pay for a diamond.
Sarah Bray and her husband decided early on they were not going to go into debt over her engagement band. From Kate Middleton's Sapphire to Halle Berry's Emerald, alternative gems are red hot. Store manager Eric Fair says there's no longer a stigma if you ask for a non-diamond.
We always say that whatever your budget is, we can find something for you.
He says top alternative stones include lab-grown diamonds, morganite, aquamarine, tourmaline, sapphire, and ruby. Sarah Bray is proud of her choice of an alternative stone.
It's important to go into a marriage without any debt.
So if you think of marriage, feel free to turn old traditions upside down. You'll come off as creative and artistic, and that way you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
John, thank you. Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A deadly crash involving an Indigo bus is under investigation. Police say a bus and car collided at East Michigan Street and North Davidson Street downtown just after 3 Wednesday afternoon. The driver of the car died after being rushed to the hospital. A young child riding in the car and a passenger on the bus were also injured.
A man is in custody after he allegedly stole a clerk's car at a Columbus gas station and cut her with a knife. The incident happened early Saturday morning at a Get-Go station on County Road 450 South near I-65. Columbus police say 29-year-old Josie Kiesling of Noblesville grabbed a clerk outside of the gas station and cut her while taking her car keys. He then took her car and led police on a chase on Interstate 65. Kiesling was later stopped and faces multiple charges.
A sad reminder about the potential dangers of space heaters. Firefighters say clutter near a space heater caught fire Wednesday afternoon at a home on Napoleon Street near Shelby and Raymond. A neighbor suffered slight smoke inhalation after he ran into the burning home to save several cats. The homeowner cannot stay in the home because of the damage.
And this morning, people living in a South Bend area waking up to a new mayor. Democrat James Mueller took the oath of office in a small ceremony. Former mayor and current Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg took a break from the campaign trail to attend the ceremonies. Mueller is the 33rd person to serve as the mayor of South Bend.
If you have a smart camera in your home, some of your information may have been leaked. Wise Labs say there was a data breach between December 4th and the 26th that exposed both customer email addresses and whoever they gave permission to view the camera feeds. Data used to connect cameras to smartphones and personal assistants like Alexa was also left open. Wise Labs says passwords and financial info were not at risk during the breach. 6:30 here on your Thursday morning, a short week for many of us, and we are being treated with some nice weather as well.
Yeah, I remember a few years past, we've had ice storms this time of year right after the holidays, so no complaints on our forecast today.
No,
Alyssa.
Today's going to be a beautiful day. It's not going to be sunny, but in terms of those temperatures, it's going to be very nice because we are well above average. We're starting above average this morning. As you head out the door, those temperatures are already into the 40s, right around 46 degrees by 11 a.m. Mild and breezy conditions expected throughout our day. We are already seeing those sustained winds right around 15 miles per hour this morning. We're going to see those gusts up to about 25 miles per hour this afternoon, but those winds are helping bring in some warmer air from the south just as the system continues to approach Indianapolis. So as we head through the day, we'll see more cloud coverage build in from that low pressure system. So if you are seeing sunshine this morning, that's going to clear out quickly, and by the noon hour we are going to see cloudy skies. By the evening, southeast counties, you will start to see those rain showers move in. Then that will become more widespread overnight, spreading into central Indiana. By Friday morning, likely you are going to see some rain showers in your commute. Today, though, mostly cloudy skies throughout our day, highs in the low 50s.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We want to check in with our live drive vehicle here, dash cam view, as our photographer Shay Goodpaster is traveling right now on I-465, approaching I-70 over on the west side. You can see traffic in this area is traveling up to speed. No problems around the I-465 loop at this hour.
Mayor Joe Hogsett and city county councilors are now sworn in for duty. Democrats flipped 6 city county council seats in the November election, giving them a 20-5 advantage. Judge Sarah Evans Barker presided over the ceremony New Year's Day at the Indiana Landmark Center.
The elections that have brought you here to this day reflect our community's shared confidence as well as hopes that you will together figure out ways and find paths that will lead to economic prosperity, as well as an atmosphere of civility and equal justice for all.
At the ceremony, Mayor Hogsett also talked about the fight against violence in the city. Police say for the first time in nearly a decade, the number of homicides has gone down. IMPD says there were 152 intentional homicides in 2019. That is 6 fewer than 2018.
We must stay the course in our core belief in community-based violence prevention. And we must specifically focus on broadening the scope and the reach of our peacemakers, our neighborhood partners, and our faith-based allies.
And new IMPD Chief Randall Taylor released a statement saying in part, quote, "This small victory is a notable one, but the fact remains that just one homicide in our city is one too many. Today, as we begin a new decade, let us all recommit ourselves to working together to make Indianapolis an even safer place to call home."
Time now is 6:33. The new year brings some new changes for two casinos right here in the Hoosier State. The Indiana State House passed a law last year that now allows live table games at casinos in both Anderson and Shelbyville. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with all the details. Kelsey, this is a big deal for the state of Indiana.
Yeah, that's right, Lauren. Not only is it bringing more than 200 jobs, but officials at these casinos, they think that this is going to keep Hoosiers gambling here in the state and also bring out people from out of state here to Indiana to gamble. So in place of electronic tables, you can now play games like blackjack, craps, and roulette with live dealers. Now, because of this change, Hoosier Park and Indiana Grand casinos are now on a level playing field with the other state-regulated casinos where live dealers were already legal. Hoosier Park Casino saw a famous face when Pacers' Victor Oladipo was one of the first to roll the dice on the craps table.
Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you for letting me be here and experience this and be a part of something that improves the state of Indiana. Because with improvement, I mean, the sky's the limit for this state.
Now, just the addition of the table games alone has created 220 new jobs with the potential to expand and add more tables at both locations in the future. Now, both casinos are hiring in Anderson and in Shelbyville. You can head over to the RTV6 News app to learn more. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. When spring rolls around in a few months, golfers in central Indiana will have one fewer spot to play. The oldest municipal golf course in Indianapolis has officially closed. On January 1st, Indy Parks officially shut down Riverside Golf Course, although golf hasn't been played there since winter weather set in. Riverside opened to golfers in 1900 and was one of 3 municipal courses nearby. The other 2, South Grove and Coffin, remain open. The golf course will be redeveloped into a park with new amenities and events.
With the new year now upon us, we have a story about change and refocusing your priorities. Just ahead, the story behind a local business and its owners and the changes they went through. At 6:35, we'll be right back.
Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
Welcome back. It is 6:38. Indiana has now approved the expansion of state mental health services using Medicaid funds. The federal government approved the funding this week. It will be used to pay for short-term care for patients admitted at mental health institutions. Funds have previously been authorized for inpatient substance abuse treatment under the Healthy Indiana plan. With 1 in 4 people with mental illness also having a substance abuse problem, the state says the new waiver will help offer full continuous treatment for those Hoosiers. The waiver also extends the services both through 2025.
Worldwide deaths from air crashes fell by more than half in 2019. Aviation consultant firm 270 says 257 people died in 8 crashes. That's compared to 534 people in 2018. The worst crash this past year involved the Boeing 737 MAX flown by Ethiopian Airlines. That accounted for 157 deaths. The report says fatal crashes from the last 2 years has led to aviation authorities reevaluating pilot training and plane design approval.
It is 6:39. The new year, it's all about change and refocusing priorities. And that can't be more true for a local business south of Indy. The Marshmallow Monkey has captivated shoppers in Franklin for years. After recently creating a destination location on their Martinsville farm, the owners have gained quite a following online. And so a lot of people were shocked when they announced at the end of 2019 they are closing their storefront. Nicole Nikoloff and her husband Brandon have been called the Chip and Joanna Gaines of the South Side. With an eye for design, unique finds, they transformed their shop into this special destination for home goods, fresh flowers, and furniture. But now their message to their loyal customers in the community is to embrace the new and to put family first. Their priorities shifted when Brandon got really sick.
Nobody can ever prepare a person for the moment whenever you're told they're going to die. And it had been almost a year from the original onset of the symptoms. We sold our house. We sold every content in our house. We went from an old historic house that we were redoing in Franklin to living above our store. And basically we were in fight or flight mode.
Well, Nicole told me that they cooked that Thanksgiving dinner in several crock pots in a space they were living above that store. Thankfully, they found out it wasn't cancer, but a treatable diagnosis of histoplasmosis. The scare made them refocus and think about their kids, their legacy, and the store.
And then we just go, okay, at the end of our life, are we going to look back and say this was really meaningful? I think we've touched a lot of people, and that was the intent of starting the business. I think it took Brandon getting sick that we said, do we really want our entire identity to be who we are when we're at work, or do we want to spend more time developing these memories with our kids?
And so the message here this new year is you never really know what people are going through. They told me they put on a brave face to keep the store running, but it was tough there for a little while. Nicole also wants to focus more on just connecting with people, helping them with their projects. So they're working more online, making a blog, a podcast, and most importantly, spending time with their 2 kids. A great reminder as we set our new priorities in the new year.
I think that is a really good message. Ironically, Alyssa and I had a long conversation about just priorities and what we focus our energy and time on. We were talking about this yesterday and just said you really got to think about who one day at the end of your life, who's going to be there at the side of your deathbed, and
what you're
you know,
gonna look back
those
on.
are the people that you need to make memories with, and you don't need to sweat the small stuff. So
a great message.
Yes, and I'm happy to hear that he is okay, and all will be well for that family. So good story there, Lauren.
Thanks.
This morning, more troops are arriving in the Middle East as unrest continues. The efforts this morning to cool tensions in Baghdad.
And the Indiana Hoosiers, they are just hours away from taking the field for their bowl game. We're getting you set for the big matchup with Tennessee. That's tonight. Alyssa.
And we have a dry day today, but rain chances increase overnight and into our Friday. Coming up, I'll have details on how long these rain showers are going to last, as well as your weekend forecast. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
The U.S. Embassy in Baghdad is on high alert after protesters launched a dramatic attempt to storm the compound. President Trump now deploying new reinforcements to the Middle East. Overnight, hundreds of additional troops deployed to the Middle East. More than 700 soldiers from the 82nd Airborne Division in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, made final preparations and boarded a plane. They're heading to Iraq and bracing for a possible 3rd straight day of clashes outside the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. The clashes began after weekend airstrikes by the U.S. reportedly killed 25 members of a militia group backed by Iran. Those U.S. airstrikes came in retaliation for an attack by that militia group that killed a U.S. contractor. Former NBA Commissioner David Stern has died. According to the National Basketball Association, Stern died as a result of a brain hemorrhage that he suffered roughly 3 weeks ago. He led the league for 3 decades, helping the NBA's popularity to explode with the help of stars like Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. During his time, he also oversaw the creation of the Women's National Basketball Association. Stern was 77 years old.
It is 6:45. The new year has not brought any relief for the people of Australia as they continue to deal with the devastating wildfires. The country continues to suffer through the worst wildfires it's seen in decades. The flames are being driven by strong winds, major drought conditions, and a record-setting heat wave. More than a dozen deaths have been confirmed across the country, with hundreds of buildings destroyed, and it may be a while before things ease up at all, as Australia is just starting its summer season. Temperatures there usually peak in January and February. Back here at home, we're seeing some warm temperatures, you could say, for winter.
Yeah, we were saying earlier that typically this time of year we're used to being dumped on by snow, maybe seeing some ice out there, but that is not the case, Alyssa.
No, today it feels a little bit more like spring. Those temperatures are well above average to start our day. Usually this time of day we are in the 20s in January. Right now we're in the 40s, 43 degrees to start our day. We'll climb close to 46 by the noon hour, so we are going to climb quickly. We do have some breezy conditions today. Those winds are out of the south, about 15 miles per hour right now. Those are sustained winds. We're also going to see those gusts close to 30 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. Now, what that wind is doing is it is also helping bring in that warm air from this low pressure system that's just to the south of us right now. That's bringing in that warm air from the Gulf, also bringing in that moisture. So as we head through the afternoon, we'll start to build in quite a bit more cloud coverage, hitting those temperatures temperatures close to 50 degrees by the noon hour with cloudy skies. So we could start with some sunshine today, but that will quickly clear out, and we will see some cloudy skies this afternoon. By the evening, we'll start to see the rest of that system tracking in. That's going to bring us the potential of some showers for southeast counties this evening. The rest of us likely going to see those showers move in overnight into central Indiana with some of those heavier showers closer to Friday morning, just in time for your morning commute. And then we are going to see a little bit of a break midday on Friday. And as we see that system move through, we're looking at about half an inch of rainfall across Indianapolis, closer to an inch of rainfall for areas to the south. That's just tonight and into Friday. By Friday night, the rest of that system moving in. So this is coming in two waves. The first one coming as rain tonight and into tomorrow. The second wave could bring us the potential of some snow. Looking at the potential of a rain-snow mix Friday night and into Saturday morning, and then that system will completely move out of the area. If we do see that rain-snow mix, we could see some accumulating snow. That really depends on how cold it gets overnight Friday into Saturday morning. Looks like those temperatures are going to be right close to freezing, so we'll keep an eye on that for you if we are expecting accumulation. 36 for our high on Saturday, so those temperatures are going to drop off briefly before we climb back into the 40s on Sunday. Today, starting with those temperatures in the 40s, a nice mild start to your Thursday. Cloudy skies expected throughout with that rain to the south by this evening. The rest of us will see that rain overnight. Tomorrow, staying warm, 50 degrees for the high. Then we really cool down overnight into the 30s, staying in the 30s for Saturday with that rain-snow mix potential. A brief dry out Sunday and Monday. More chances of rain come in on Tuesday.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Here is a live look right now from our live drive vehicle on I-65 southbound near MLK, heading into the downtown area. You can see traffic there is moving along just fine. No crashes or issues here to slow you down. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on those roads throughout the morning.
This morning, the Indiana Hoosiers are making their final preparations as they get set to hit the field for their first bowl game since 2016. Tonight, the Hoosiers will face the Tennessee Volunteers in Jacksonville for the Gator Bowl. IU is 8-4 on the season, while the Vols come into the game with a record 7-5. However, Tennessee does have a 3 straight bowl game winning streak. Kickoff for the Gator Bowl is set for 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN.
And tonight's game marks the Hoosiers' 12th appearance in a bowl game and their 3rd in the last 5 years. Indiana is hoping to reverse a recent trend, though. The Hoosiers were last in a bowl game back in 2016 when they lost to Utah 26-24. In 2015, Indiana lost a heartbreaker against Duke in the Pinstripe Bowl 44-41. The last time IU won a bowl game was all the way back in 1991 when the Hoosiers won the Copper Bowl, topping Baylor 24-0.
The district has more than 8,000 personal computers. When students and staff return to school, they will find an official blue stamp on each computer, which reads Y2K OK.
Oh, I wish he was here with us
Who's
this morning.
that young guy?
Just over 20 years ago, a younger Rafael Sanchez told us about the efforts to get ready for Y2K.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, coming up in Throwback Thursday, we're looking back at the preparations, concerns, and consequences that came from the change of the millennium. You'll want to stick around for that.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
This morning, the Indiana Pacers are hoping to build off a nice victory on New Year's Eve. The blue and gold back in action this evening as they welcome the Denver Nuggets to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Indiana is coming off an impressive victory over the 76ers on Tuesday afternoon to snap a 2-game losing streak. Tip-off for tonight's game is set for 7 o'clock.
Meanwhile, the Purdue Boilermakers basketball team will play their first game of this new decade tonight. Purdue will welcome the Minnesota Golden Gophers to Mackey Arena. The Boilermakers have been up and down over the last month, going 2-2 over their last 4 games. Tip-off for tonight's game is set for 7 o'clock. Boiler up.
is that time of the week once again where we dive into the RTV6 vault and we take a look back into the past.
In this morning's Throwback Thursday, we're taking you back 20 years and a story that dominated the news. We're, of course, talking about Y2K.
Yeah, just over 20 years ago, if you can believe it, the countdown to the new millennium was filled with dread for some. There were concerns that the so-called Y2K bug would cause financial systems to collapse and computers to crash.
Rafael Sanchez, a much younger Rafael Sanchez, caught up with one Johnson County couple hosting a neighborhood Y2K meeting in February of 1999 as they prepared for the upcoming new year.
The Johnson County couple is ready for whatever happens. They've bought nearly 1 dozen 55-gallon drums to store food, fuel, and water. It's a step many of their neighbors are willing to take.
We don't know. Nobody knows. If they knew, we wouldn't be here right now. There's too many variables.
Too many variables.
Oh my goodness. Well, others were cashing in on those Y2K fears. An entrepreneur in Whiteland opened up a store called Y2K Help Inc. that sold everything from dehydrated food to generators.
Why are we doing this? We want to get more people prepared. We're not price gouging them. We see the value in what we're doing, and we're actually trying to support the community around us.
The Y2K store also stocks food, all dehydrated. 13 cartons will feed one person for an entire year at a cost of $1,500.
Well, we're just disgusted by those cans. Once the countdown was over, the cleanup began. There were very few Y2K issues reported in central Indiana. The Indiana BMV experienced a computer glitch, which gave anyone who renewed their license in the first few days of the year 2000 an incorrect expiration date.
Yeah, and in Pike Township, the boiler systems at Tooele Elementary School's computer software there that turned on the heat and it turned it on and off, it rolled over to January 1st, 1800. We're all still here, though. It's
yes.
2020, if you can believe it. We all remember that, though. It's pretty funny.
Yes.
I appreciate the people cashing in on that, though.
Hey, we didn't know what was going to happen, so all right. Thankfully, though, we do know what's going to happen weather-wise today.
Yes. So we are in store for a very warm January day. It does not feel like January outside this morning. Not going to feel like that this afternoon either. Partly sunny today, 50 degrees for the high. Rain comes in overnight and into our Friday, staying warm tomorrow. Then those temperatures drop off Saturday. That's when we see the potential of a rain-snow mix as well.
All right, Alyssa, thanks, and thank you for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America.
All your news throughout the day is on the RTV6 app. Have a good one.